Hey, what's up, everybody? You're now tuned into T.
And
T. And it's your girl, Jazzy J.
Mike
In
Deezer.
the building, y'all. Big shout out to all the supporters today. And we just wanted to come through and give a special message from the GoFundMe from our sis, Eleanor Harvey. And she is sending this out to us January 1st, New Year's, family. Happy New Year.
Shalom, faithful supporters of Dr. John F. Johnson, aka the Grandmaster J. The following are the facts surrounding the present condition of our beloved brother. This information was withheld from the public for security reasons before the fact, but now can be revealed after the fact. It will put several actions in perspective, as well as give guidance on future expectations of efforts needed to work toward his eventual return to society. Understand that the events that unfolded were neither known nor foreseen at the time of his sentencing or appeal. In April 2023, Mr. Johnson was identified by the Federal Bureau of Prisons medical staff as having an irregular heartbeat, very high blood pressure, and elevated cholesterol levels that warranted further testing by non-BOP professional cardiologists at a civilian medical facility. These tests were conducted between June and August of 2023. Each progressively invasive test revealed a deteriorating heart condition, stroke-level blood pressures, and a misfiring heart rhythm. This was not a pre-existing condition. Mr. Johnson was treated with a host of prescribed medications which had no impact on reducing or mitigating these conditions. In August 2023, Mr. Johnson was informed by this cardiological team that his life expectancy was 24 months based on his current and projected condition. This information was delivered to him in the presence of Federal Bureau of Prisons officials at the civilian hospital. At this time, he was informed that there would need to be a series of heart and vascular operations performed in order to save his life. Each operation's necessity was dependent on the success of the previous. Mr. Johnson agreed to proceed with the medical procedures. While all this was unfolding, the appeal of Mr. Johnson's federal conviction was working its way through the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals and was due to be heard in October 2023. Simultaneously, efforts to secure a commutation of Mr. Johnson's sentence were also being worked through the White House and the Office of the Pardon Attorney, but could not be acted upon until the appeal process was concluded. This medical development was unfolding simultaneously. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed Mr. Johnson's sentence on October 23, 2023. This opened the door for the request for a commutation application to be sent forward to the White House. However, before the trigger could be pulled on this action, Mr. Johnson underwent the first operation on November 6, 2023, under secure conditions. A request that the BOP initiate a motion for compassionate release was submitted on November 15, 2023. Under current law, if the BOP failed to answer this request within 30 days, then Mr. Johnson could petition the courts directly. Mr. Johnson was allowed 5 weeks to recover from this first procedure and to prepare for the second, more major operation, which involved open heart surgery. Only a small circle of people were aware of this. On December 18, 2023, Mr. Johnson was securely transported to a major medical facility that specializes and cardiology, where open heart surgery was performed to repair or replace the failing parts of his heart. This was a very invasive and intense surgery that required Mr. Johnson to be placed in intensive care for a few days. However, the operation was successful and Mr. Johnson regained consciousness and began the long process of healing and therapy, which will take a few months. However, the aftercare level of maintenance that Mr. Johnson will require for the rest of his life is not available within the BOP system, which has been publicly criticized for its poor quality of healthcare due to personnel shortages and facilities. Although one would think that someone in Mr. Johnson's condition would be transferred to a BOP medical facility after leaving the hospital, he was in fact returned to his original institution to recover. The medical staff doing what they can under the circumstances, even questioning this move.
However, on November 1st, 2023, the United States Sentencing Commission published into law new provisions that expand the medical grounds for compassionate release, reduction of sentence, motion which would be filled with the courts. Multiple compassionate releases have been granted by courts across America in wake of this new USSG guideline. Mr. Johnson is a prime example of why the law was enacted and motion for his compassionate release can now be drafted as you read this, since the 30-day window of the BOP response has passed as of December 15th, 2023. While the other actions in flight are still relevant, this action takes precedent and should be given your full support. Mr. Johnson's recovery and rehabilitation therapy continues within the confines of the BOP system, but his long-term aftercare would be best served under the care of his own physicians and loved ones. These are the details surrounding the health situation of Dr. F. Johnson. You are now informed. Your responses about next steps and ways you can assist are welcome. At this time, your cards and well wishes for his continued recovery would be the most uplifting and well appreciated. Correspondence can be sent to Dr. John Fitzgerald Johnson, number 202-57509, FCI Ashland, P.O. Box 6001, Ashland, Kentucky 41105. C.O. John Fitzgerald Johnson. Mail your get well cards and letters of encouragement today. Continue to support his legal defense fund and also his commissary.
That is the news, family. Some good news, some bad news, some good news again, then some more bad. But it's going to follow up as good news, fam. It's always going to be good news when the Most High is with us, man. He's always with us, and we try to be with him. So that is the news there. Definitely go to the GoFundMe. There's a message on there, Grandmaster Jay's words from the past. It's something to definitely read. Keep it fresh in your mind. And hey, keep doing what you're doing, family, through all the support.
That's right. He needs our donations, our prayers, our thoughts, our love more than ever. And you just never know what somebody's going through. Even though he tries to keep us happy and rejuvenated, there's things that he's also going through. So let's just make sure that we're there for him as well.
Yeah, family. He went in, healthy man, and when he come back out, when he get out, he'll be able to get right back to his regular self, fam. He'll be able to get right back to his regular self, all right?
That's right, family. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Tea.
And
Tea. And we out, y'all. Peace.
Much love, family, like always.